Hey Taurus, my name is Dre, and this is your reading for October 2017. Using Rider Waite, no reversals. In the center we have Death, Four of Cups, Judgment, the Empress, the Devil, King of Swords, Page of Swords, Nine of Swords, and the Ten of Cups. Outcome, we have the Queen of Swords. Additional card, we have the Three of Wands. So, first message I got was, you're going to get some news that you won't like. But I feel like it's the only way for you guys to wake up and see what it is you've been ignoring. I pulled a card for this Nine of Swords and the Ten of Cups, and we have Strength. So just reinforcing the fact that I feel like you guys are going to get some news that you don't like. It could be from one other person, but I feel like right now, currently you're like in limbo, or you've been in limbo, and involved in something that I feel like has been given a lot of your time. So like a job that you've been working at, or a relationship that you guys, that you're in. But either way, I'm getting the feeling that a lot of you have probably placed a lot of emphasis on the fact that, it's pretty much just somebody else's decision, I feel like, that is going to impact where you guys are going. And I'm really feeling that, like, if you guys are in a relationship, like, in the sense that you've been feeling one way and they've been feeling some sort of other way. And at the same time, you've been feeling unfulfilled. And it's like, I'm getting the sense that you've put a lot of work into this. And that for a lot of you, you're kind of optimistic about where this relationship could go. But what I'm seeing is that just the news in and of itself will be swift, and it'll be something that, again, you might take as a negative. But in the long run, it's going to be a positive, because I feel like some of you are ending relationships or habits or behaviors that have either, I feel like you're either, it could be directly related to one other person, or it just could be in your day-to-day life. They've just been maybe spiraling a little bit, trapped in a rut, trapped in a sense of wanting to give up, wanting to not push any harder or push any further. But I feel like there is going to be something that's going to wake you up, or really force you to not sit idly by and let some things happen. And I'm really seeing it with regards to, because we have the King and Queen. So whenever I see the same, and we're just missing the Knight as far as all the court cards in the Swords suite. So I feel like suit. But I feel like for some of you, it's like this total harmony of you needing to let not shit phase you going into whatever's happening. And this is Libra season. Libra is the Queen of Swords. So I feel like this entire season of Libra, it's going to be, or it has been, and will continue to be, a challenge in needing you to actually speak up and assert yourself, or speak up on what you feel like is fair and what is responsible. And might have something to do in the workplace, because Libra is you guys' sixth house. So matters of business, matters of health, matters of your daily routine, getting that all under control, and that taking making a greater emphasis. But also, there's, if that's not the case, yeah. So some of you could just be completely redoing your routine, your daily routine. And Jupiter's going in Scorpio, which is your opposite sign. So I feel like with any, with Jupiter in any sign, that energy is magnified because Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Um, excuse me. All things big, that's Jupiter. All things that could be is Jupiter. And so I feel like for some of you, especially if you're if you're in relationships that are not at their healthiest point right now, all those problems will become magnified under Jupiter and Scorpio. All the little things you've ignored, any of the codependency, any of the, if, emotional codependency, if somebody has an addiction, something like that, unhealthy coping behaviors and all that shit, I feel like it will become greater, more emphasized, more pronounced, to the point where you just can't ignore it anymore, where simply the anxiety and fussing about it and not doing anything will become a problem in and of itself, which is what the Nine of Swords is. Fretting over things that we feel like we're powerless to, but all it takes is it takes us being willing to admit that we can't do anything about a situation, that we just have to we have to go to that 10. We have to feel that pain and realizing our true powerlessness. But there's power in that as well. There's power in dealing with something after it's already, because, with the Nine of Swords, it's, nothing new has been given to us. We haven't gotten anything new in terms of this situation that's making us anxious. It's just that we're replaying it over and over and over in our head. All the things that could go wrong, all the things that we suspect but we don't have evidence of, all of our confusion and all of our doubt. It's just like we can put an end to that, and we can choose to see a different perspective to these things, to see a different outlook. The Queen is the highest, just looking at this, she's overlooking all of this, and she's looking way out into the future. She's so sure about where she's going and what she wants to see. So it's like some of you just need to rein in the day-to-day, get everything, at least on a practical level, under control. Like, again, not going into extremes. I was telling this to Aries, where the devil is austerity, but it's also excessiveness, where we become too restricted to the point where we're closing ourselves off to everything just because our desire for control is like that. Or it goes in the opposite way, where our desire for control completely overwhelms us and those around us. And so with death, it's like you've gone too far in either direction. And it's the direction that's making you the most anxious. It's the direction that you feel like you need saving from the most. And it's the direction in your heart of hearts is the wrong direction you're going. But I still feel like there's this, you're hung up on this. But I will feel like you'll get some news that will force you to choose either way, and you won't like it. And that's not the point to like it. The point is to get better. The point is to see and to understand what we're working with, what we do have control over, but in a way that is healthy, in a way that is going to make us rich, that's going to make us feel richer, make us feel more abundant, make us feel more grounded. The Empress is ruled by Venus, and Venus rules Libra and Taurus. So all of this is about, being in Libra season, having the Empress here, Venus being the ruler. It's all about coming back into touch with the simple things, the things that don't cause this, that don't cause all this stress, that don't cause all this confusion. But, we can't just sort of, snap fingers and go back to this sense of stasis, this sense of normalcy. We have to hack off a limb first, and we have to forgive ourselves, and we have to forgive people around us. That doesn't mean we have to forget, um, obviously, because if we forget, we lose track of that thing that led us here, the thing that we probably got too attached to. But it's knowing that those scars don't define you. They didn't define you in the past. They won't define you in the present. And they won't as long as you don't let them in the future. You have to use all of your willpower and all of your desire to bring in those new opportunities, those new experiences that you are denying yourself of. But that's only if you want it. That's only if you want to see it. And it'll come in the form of a revelation, something that I feel like you actually might get outside help. Some of you actually might reach out to somebody, or somebody will reach out to you and they see how you're struggling, or you see people around you that are struggling, and you want to resolve that in a way. And that's really beautiful. And in that way, you might help each other through that. So if some of you are looking to join a support group or whatever, that would be very beneficial. For others of you, you just need that realization. It's not anything that anybody can tell you. You have to experience it, and you have to see it, and you have to feel it. And if you play your cards right, you will be able to master that, to understand that, well, okay, all that sucked, but at least I'm learning something from this. Or some of you are learning that lesson now, where you're just like, I don't have control over everything, but I do have control over some things. And what I do have control over, I want to use it in a way that is going to be to my benefit, not to my detriment, not to, the destruction or downfall of others, as much as we want that sometimes. But it's not about anybody else's destruction. It's about your own, and it's about your resurrection and your completion. So thank you so much, Taurus. I will see you guys during Scorpio season.